All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go over your quizzes that you took for Unit 7 through 9. So the first one was which angle measures of an equilateral triangle? Well, an equilateral triangle has all sides that are the same, but also all angles are the same as well. So we also need to keep in mind that for an equilateral triangle to exist, the angle still would need to add up to 180. So even though I see all the same numbers for A through D, some of these can't even be a full triangle. For example, for A, if I added all of those numbers together, I would get 90. And all the angles inside a triangle must add up to 180. For B, when I add those numbers together, then I get 180. So B is the solution. They're all the same and they add up to 180 degrees. In triangle ABC, for this particular problem, I would suggest when you're doing a question like this, maybe draw it out. Angle A is 70, angle B is 35, and the question is asking to find angle C. So in order to find angle C, I know that angle A plus angle B plus angle C add up to 180 degrees. So now I'm just going to go ahead and add my 70 plus 35 is going to give me 105. And then I'm going to subtract that from both sides. So 180 minus 105 is going to give me 75. So C was the correct answer for this question. What is the measurement of angle J? Well, this looks to be an isosceles triangle since two sides are congruent. So there is a corresponding values when it comes to congruent sides that directly correspond to congruent angles. So for an isosceles triangle, if this has a dash, then this is corresponding to the angle J. And that angle would have to be congruent to angle H because angle H is also across from the line segment that has a single dash on it as well. So let's say I call this X, for example. So what I have here is I have the exact same measurement. So let's say X plus 62. All of those should add up to equal 180 degrees. I'm going to combine my like terms, and then I'm going to subtract 62 on both sides. And I get 118. Then I'm going to divide by 2, and I get X is 59. I'm going to go back and reread the question because remember, I'm the one that put the X in this. So X does represent angle J and angle H, and the question is asking for me to find angle J, and angle J is also going to be 59, so A is correct. For number 4 in this particular exam, you know that this is an equilateral triangle because each angle is equal to each other. So if that's the case and all of the angles are equal, then that also means that all the sides are equal as well. So what is the value of X? Well, X must equal 9. Okay. For number 5, you were asked to name the smallest angle. So when you're talking about the measurements of angles from smallest to largest, the smallest side corresponds to the opposite angle. So for example, if I was asking for the largest angle here, I would find the largest side, which was 7. And therefore, that means the angle across that's not touching, angle C, would be the largest angle. So for this problem, ask yourself what's the smallest side? The smallest side is AC here, which is the 5, and that corresponds to the angle opposite. So angle B is opposite of the smallest number, which is 5. So angle B must be the smallest angle. For number 6, I don't think this is right actually. Number 6, which of the following does not represent the lengths of the sides of a triangle? So for this one, we were using the theorem that basically when you add two numbers together, two sides together, they should always be greater than the third side. So you want to use your combinations here. So for example, for the first one, I have 2 plus 6 should be greater than 7, and it is. I would also have 6 plus 7 should be greater than 2, and it is. And then the last combination would be 7 plus 2, must be greater than 6. So that one is a possible triangle. The question is asking does not represent, okay? For the next one, I can do 5 plus 2 should be greater than 5. That's true. 2 plus 5 should be greater than 5. That's true. 5 plus 5 should be greater than 2, and that's true. So that one works as well. For this one, I have 5 plus 5 should be greater than 8. True. 5 plus 8 should be greater than 5. That's true. And my last statement would be the same one again. Last one, 3 plus 10 should be greater than 15, and that is not true. I don't even need to finish this last one because remember again, if I get one statement that's false, then the whole triangle is false. So the correct answer here was D, or whatever it ended up being on your guys' quiz. So those were your results for the first quiz on Unit 7. Now to go to 8.2 and 9.2, where we started learning about parallelograms. Could go ahead and pull up my parallelogram properties.